Actually, from the beginning, I explained about the Node-RED and the things board. But if you are looking at those two, it's really good start for you to start any project. But as a engineers, we don't like to rely on already available services from the different vendors. We like to create our own thing. For that one, for example, for this building this kind of enterprise grade IoT solutions and embedded products, for the IoT side, you can depend on the enterprise solution like AWS services or Azure or the Google Cloud. In that case, AWS have the AWS IoT core. Then you can, from our device, you can send the data to AWS IoT core and you can do the visualization part. Also, you can put into the different database like S3 bucket or something. Also, you can use the digital twin, that kind of a thing also possible from the AWS. The downside, all these things you need to pay. You see, you are going to create your own stack. So there are open source tools are there. So if you are familiar with the Docker and the Docker Compose, you can use those things to implement the features. Let's take the Ming stack. This is already available. Like Ming in the sense, you can see this thing. For the MQTT, you can use the Mosquito broker. You can configure. Then after getting to the Mosquito, you can put, you can configure InfluxDB to receive the data like a database. Up to now, we didn't talk about any database. So you can put into the database. After that, from the database, you can read the values from to the node RED. Or let's say if you want to do some manipulation, you can do it. After that, for the visualization, you can use the node RED. For advanced things, you can depend on the Grafana as well. For example, node RED dashboard 2.0 there. But that also comparing to the Grafana, there are many plugins there. You can do many awesome stuff using Grafana. So it's really good if you are going with your own stack creating, but it will take time. You should understand each and every component on the stack. If you are building this kind of a open source IIoT stack, you can deploy that on the on-prem or the cloud. Yeah, this is the kind of thing. Yeah. After that, up to now, I gave the direction for this competition and other stuff. Sometimes, even though I'm explaining about the tools, I'm not explaining about the problems what you are going to solve. So when you're going to solve some problems, you need to take some engineering design decisions. So let's say you are going to one client or one customer or one of your friend or someone, they will tell many problems. So you need to identify whether that is a real problem or not. The problem identification is a really must. After that, for that problem, there can be many solution is available. When you're gathering the requirement, you will identify whether that problem is worth solving or not solving. You say if it's worth solving, then you need to go with how you're going to solve. You need to ask the questions. Then once everything is confirmed, you're going to solve that problem. Sometimes you no need to go with the sensor or actuator. Just you need to see whether you can solve without the IoT, without embedded system or something. Say if you're going to use some gateway or something, sensors or something, then that's fine. After filtering those things, when you're selecting the sensor, you need to select the correct sensor. Like DIY sensors are there, but that lifespan is very less. That is not going to withstand the industrial conditions. So I think earlier there was one session by the previous introduction session done by Shehan. He clearly explaining about how to select the sensors for the current monitoring. I guess you can follow that one to get an idea. But see, if you are getting the sensor in the industrial noise and everything, you need to have the another signal conditioning unit. So you can filter out the noise or reduce the noise. Then only you can get the meaningful results from the sensor. That's why that calibration, time to time calibration, those things are really important in the industrial case. So if you can avoid the sensors, you can avoid. But other side, in the actuator, it's that also there are many problems there. When you're going to the real project, you will understand. But all the problem, there's a solution you can overcome. Also, all the time we don't need to select the microcontroller or microprocessor. Sometimes even tiny chip. Let's take the ESP32. Let's just take the Arduino. Rather than using the Arduino Uno board, simply you can use the Atmega chip only for the one kind of solution. So that is the decision call you need to take. Then the firmware development and the logic definition, everything based on the problem requirement you need to define. This is the most critical part. Let's say you are doing the project and showing the demo, it will work. Let's say when you are running for, let's say, 1 year, there are many problems will come. So when you are defining, you can take more time for this part. If you are implementing the real project, that time period it will withstand for the long period. Yeah. Then the dashboard implementation nowadays, I think everyone can do with a short time. Yeah, as a summary, these are the kind of tools I covered. Arduino ID, Platform IO, that work, the Proteus I didn't cover, but it's okay, and MQTT Explorer, these things. I think if you have this kind of a tools, initial phase, these all are free. None of these things are paid. Only this Proteus is paid, but it's not relevant for this initial use case. So using this one, you can experiment and build the total IoT solution. Yeah, I think I gave the full idea for this one. So try to solve the problems from your real life. Sometimes already available solutions are available in the market, but nowadays most of the people are advertising, but in the real case, that kind of solution will be not there. Even though that is there, some of the drawbacks will be there in that solution. So learn from the best, try to come up with a very good idea, try to solve the real life problems. Make sure that problem you are trying to solve it's sellable for the future. Then it's a kind of win-win situation for all of the people involved in the process. Yeah, that's it. We came to the end. Only one thing I didn't cover the Git version control. I think since that is bit basic, I didn't cover. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything you want to contact me, you can use this email. I hope most of the people fill this feedback form. I will be here around 5 minutes. If you have any question, you can unmute and ask. If any feedback you want to tell me, also you can tell me. It's fine. Also, you can send in the chat. That also fine. If you want me to repeat any of the content, unclear points, if I'm fast at some point or something, you can ask me. I can repeat. If this session is really useful, can you put a thumbs up in the Zoom so I can know it's really useful? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I think I'm sorry for the last time that muted. I didn't notice. I think I repeated everything. Yeah. All the best for your this competition. Yeah. That's it from my side.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Rumesh. Such an interesting session it was. So, as we conclude.